All right, you know the title of the video, so let's jump in. In a world of sports, Roger Goodell said Tuesday that NFL's competition committee will make it a priority to examine an expanded playoff field in 2014, with two teams possibly added to the postseason field by 2015. According to ESPN.com, I'll put a link in the description. I'm 50-50 split on it. 50% of me saying, why not? I want to see the best teams make the playoffs. Who's tired of watching teams who make the playoffs with a 9-7 record or 8-8 record, and while a 10-6 team get left in the cold? That's just ridiculous. And you're telling teams, hey, win more games. They have a double-digit wins, but for some reason, it's not good enough. The same way with baseball, they added, two teams? They expanded the playoff field a little bit, which they had to. There's no way a team like Tampa Bay Rays or New York Yankees win like 90-plus games, but yet they're sitting at home because they didn't win 95 or 97 games. That's not fair. That's stupid. But on the negative side, it could make the regular season meaningless, watered down, and people don't want that. Real football fans don't want that. Let alone hardcore football fans don't want that. So, NFL to play 3 games in London next season in 2014. Put a link in the description. I do not like the idea of playing football games in London, England. I hate it. I understand there are fans up there, across the world. Are huge fans of the National Football League. I get all that. Maybe exhibition, okay, I can roll with that. But regular season, no. That is just bad. And I can't believe Roger Goodell would even think that this is a good idea of, hey, let's have a NFL team. Let's bring up the idea of having an NFL team in London. Bad idea. No, that's not. It's almost as bad idea. That's an overall horrible idea. Worse than having a team in Los Angeles, which they can't even keep the Raiders and the Rams in the same city. And why should they get a second chance? I mean, a third chance. Excuse me. So, now, before I move on, I'm going to say this. I think Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton is getting far too much of the blame. So much so, when the team lose, it's all his fault. I'm thinking to myself, is he the one making the dumb penalties? No. Is he an offensive coordinator, head coach, defensive back, linebacker? Is he playing defense? Because if the answer is no, then be quiet. Only his fault. The only faults that Cam Newton has is he's not reading the defense. He's thrown off his back foot. His accuracy is hot and cold, which I've been saying for who knows how long. The team itself can't find ways to win close games. It's not just him. Speaking of, Cam Newton, I am so sick and tired of the sports media making NFL, which is supposed to be an ultimate team sport, into NBA-esque, have this ridiculous individuality mentality. Hey, one player can win the game for the team. No, it takes everybody, not just one player. Okay? It's just ridiculous. Oh boy. Now, let me move on before I get angry. World of video games. Well, no, not world of video games. I'll get to that in a second. A woman who was sentenced to 7 years in prison, no, 7 years to life in prison for removing her ex-husband's family a magic stick and threw in a garbage disposal. I'll put a link in the description. It's not pretty. I read the article about at least 3 or 4 times. I thought it was a joke, but it was dead serious. I didn't think that can actually happen. Now, in the world of video games, EA Sports canned a college football game in 2014, probably for good, due to the legal issues and everything else is going on with them. Capcom only have $152 million in the bank. All I have to say to you, Capcom, you're one of my favorites. I played your games, but you really screwed up this generation. I mean, you screwed up so bad, it's not even funny. I mean, just stop with the milking Street Fighter and making a half-baked games and won't even bother to put out patches. I mean, look at Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. People are still complaining about that game, and they still play it because they love that game. The DLC, dislocked, whatever you want to call it, the Resident Evil series being turned upside down. You won't put out any, new games, new gaming series, or new games for the series like Darkstalkers, Mega Man. Where's a brand new Mega Man game at, Capcom? Man. Boy, you did this to yourself. You have nobody to blame but yourself. Judge bans a team from playing video games. The judge is wrong for banning that young man playing video games. He could have did something different with the punishment instead of doing that, because he's gonna find a way to play a video game regardless. The young man, come on. Putting your hands on your mother because she pulled a plug when you were getting pissed off over a video game and when she told you to knock it off? Come on, man. That's just stupid. I wouldn't even think of putting my hands on my mother. Have I got angry from playing video games? Yeah, but I wouldn't go to that extreme. I'd be buried so deep into the ground, I would never see the sun. I would never see daylight, period. So, wow, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Battlefield 4 beta is out now. Well, then again, it's been out since last week. I only played it like at least over an hour or so. The only issue I have is the controls. It's totally different than Battlefield 3 and Battlefield Bad Company 2. But other than that, I love everything about it. And people are still complaining, like, oh my god, the beta sucks. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's a beta. B-E-T-A with big, bold, black capital letters. What part of beta don't you understand? Now, yes, I also understand. Look at Medal of Honor Warfighter. It was a beta, and unfortunately, that game came out with a significant amount of issues. I get all that. But look at Battlefield 4 beta and compare it to Battlefield 3 beta. Come on now. It had buttloads of issues, including falling through the map. Come on. Be real. Stop complaining. Boy, gamers just whine and complain about stupid crap too much these days. GTA 5 nonsense, from GameStop employee getting fired for her behavior. It was completely unprofessional. Put a link in the description. To a dude getting beaten with a brick and stabbed and robbed, to a disabled young man, which a video I've done last week. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. by a couple. He got beaten and robbed by a couple. And he was looking forward to that game, to father and son beating down a random guy at a Walmart over a last copy of a Grand Theft Auto 5 PS3 video game bundle. Wow. This is just sad. The news media versus Grand Theft Auto 5. Memo to the news media: stop reporting video games. Just stop. Every time you do it, you tend to put your foot in your mouth and say the stupidest things you could ever. Just knock it off. People will take you seriously if you do your job instead of making up stuff. Virtual gun control in a video game because all this crimes is happening. Are you serious? And oh yeah, memo to President Barack Obama. How about get people back to work in this little stupid government shutdown? And for the name of gaming God, stop wasting taxpayers' money over, oh, we gotta do research for a video game to see the link between real life violence and video game violence. There have been countless studies. There's no such thing. Just stop. You didn't see Bill Clinton do it. You didn't see George W. Bush do it. So why you? Just knock it off. Oh my goodness. I don't understand this country sometimes. I don't understand. And with that, I'm throwing y'all a salute, and I'm out.